Alright, making a video. I do the Maytag repairman thing. God damn it. I had today off as a walking day, so it might rain. But anyway, whatever. I'm here, so videoing I shall do. Oh, not in a good mood. Anyway. Alright, this subject it always does stir up some stuff, you know, when you get on this subject of what an atheist is. What does it mean? Even this free thinking crap. So, I mean, I saw a video by Zach, which I guess I should make a separate video too, but I don't know, it's all sort of related. Because, you know, he's basically saying, well, why should I make a distinction between a plant, a stupid fucking plant, and a sentient creature? He thinks they're both sentient. He thinks that plant I just stomped went, ouchie, ouch, 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 ouch. He thinks that. I mean, it's just, you know, what? Now why should we make distinctions between rocks and plants? I mean, it's just silly. Oh, there's a rock. I almost stepped on the fucking rock. My God, what a horror. I mean, it's just stupid. And so that's sort of like where you can start. I mean, if an atheist isn't going to concede to science, then they're so fucking crazy. I mean, basic science. Then they might, like I said, how are they any worse than a fucking loony, crazy religious nut? I mean, it's just as much a pile of crap they're basing their existence on. So yes, again, the only good thing about them is they're maybe like the UFO loony religious people who killed themselves. I mean, they're harmless enough. They're not in our way. So yeah, it's a very good religion because they just want to sit around, hug trees, and save the planet. Well, that's a bad thing. But anyway, we won't go into that. But yeah, there's a consequence to being saying there's no divine intervener. You have to explain then how the intelligence that is not apparent that you think exists in the end sometime, how it was built into the structure. You can't just say it was, because intelligence isn't a it was thing. It's a have to construct thing. It's an order thing. Order doesn't come, well, it does come from chaos, but it doesn't, you can't have order without process, and we don't see that process here anywhere. There's nothing in nature that gleans out intelligence in the purest sense. What nature does is it builds consuming and reproducing machines. I mean, the biological nature. Obviously, the cosmos just allows matter to do its matter thing. You know, and that's it. It obliges it to behave as the structure dictates. Hydrogen molecules don't all of a sudden become gold. There's no stepping outside of their place, their orientation, and we're a complexification of that deterministic orientation, certainly. But yeah, it's so incredibly complex. I mean, just amazingly amazing. Tricky word. Startling. There's a good word. Much better. Replace amazing with the word startling. Much better use. Yeah, it stuns the brain to contemplate the complexity. But the complexity can be understood. The diagram isn't so complex. You know, the broad outline. And the broad outline of our existence is chemistry and physics, and then one day a piece of that chemistry acquired, fell upon, let's see how many other words we can use, became combined to form a reproducing machine, a little chemical device that, you know, made copies of itself, and had to have a a dynamic where that copying process did not, let's say, well, I don't know, I guess it could be fatal. I mean, I don't know whether the first reproducing cell, maybe it was a fatal event for it. But it would soon evolve a capacity to not be fatal, to, acquire enough material to make the copy without the copy, stealing all energy and ability to reproduce. You don't. But that doesn't. We have nothing else. That's all we have is this chemical diagram, and we either diagram it or we don't. We either admit the truth or we don't. I mean, we have the evidence of a round Earth. It's all kind of there, and if people choose to deny the round Earth, you have to kind of call them religious. You kind of have to say you're a religious flat Earth nut. I mean, it doesn't matter what the cartoon is, does it? I mean, if we just define atheism as, no, I don't accept a fable or a fantasy story, well, that does it. Anyway, so that gets to another point. Oh, frig, I just lost that one. Well, I'll go back to another one then. Some idiot said, is this the typical atheist bullshit? Why do I have to do anything more than what nature dictates? I mean, they really don't see that intelligence is an obligation, that it imposes a responsibility, that knowing how to drive means you actually have to drive. You can't. You don't have an excuse then for driving like a retard because you have knowledge and understanding. And so they're sort of claiming that they don't have to analyze or appreciate or derive an understanding of the mechanics. They'll just do what nature says. And but like I said, that just is an obvious religion then. That's faith. Having faith in nature is idiotic as having faith in a god, or in a 2,000-year-old book anyway. It's just silly. Alright, so there's another point I gotta refine. But anyway, okay, the one guy used this word altruism, and I didn't even say that in my video, so I don't even know what the hell that came from. Altruism. It's not altruistic to define your responsibilities. That doesn't. You don't have to be a whatever that word doesn't even mean much. But you don't have to have some ideology. You have to have a philosophy. You're gonna have one. You can't escape having a philosophy. So it might as well be one based on reality. And so a reality-based philosophy is going to concede our origin, is going to concede, unlike Zach, there's a huge difference between organisms possessing neurology and organisms without, central nervous systems capable of feeling and thinking. These are different than organisms that don't feel and don't think. It's just, you can't deny that. And so what's the consequence of that? Is an understanding, a simple understanding, that you're one biological organism possessed by sentience. There's a whole bunch of other sentience out there. Your brain was evolved to help you manage your sentience, to be compelled by feelings and desires and ambitions to get your DNA into the future. Not a brilliant battle plan. And an intelligence is going to look at that and say, well, look, the game doesn't matter to this individual thing. What matters is these sentient creatures, all of them. and you do what's in the best interest of most of them, not what's in the best interest of one of them. That's just idiotic. And it's just simple math. If your brain is conceding that feelings are important because you're allowing your feelings to motivate and compel your behavior, so then why wouldn't you concede the importance of those other feelings? And if your brain power can be devoted to their satisfaction, it's no different than devoting it to your own. In the real world equation, the one not driven by your ego, that's the fucking obvious truth. And so it's not really a matter of altruism, it's a matter of responsibility to the truth.